Good afternoon. My name is Vince. I'm the president of Asian Pacific Community Awareness, and I'm here this afternoon with Trish Marsh, who's running for City Council Ward 3, and we're at the beautiful Dragon Ridge Country Club. Good afternoon, Trish. Good to see you.
Hi, Vince. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, I think the voters need to know one-on-one the real feeling of the candidates, and maybe some questions I might ask you are tough, but I know you're a tough woman because you're also a businesswoman.
Thank you.
And to be a businesswoman, you have to be tough. But one thing I want to mention, because this is Memorial Day coming up, and me being a veteran, and I know you have done a lot to support the veterans. Can you tell us something more about that?
Yes, well, my dad was a colonel in the Army, and so as a result of that, the veteran issue has been near and dear to my heart, and really the reason is because although he was colonel and was a very educated man, he was a degreed engineer, he ended up with a lot of issues and ended up homeless. My mom and dad were divorced, and he ended up homeless, and so I saw that, and that left a very, very deep impact on me. And as a result of that, the veteran issue became very strong for me. So that is a platform item for me, and I want to ensure that we have the support and the services for our veterans in the city of Henderson. They have done a great job. I want to ensure that we continue doing that. I've been a supporter of Veterans Treatment Court led by Judge Mark Stevens, and which is an amazing organization. And so I just want to continue to support the veterans. And Vince, thank you for your service, because I know that you have done a lot for our country, and also a Purple Heart recipient. So thank you.
You mentioned the Veterans Treatment Court. I just heard the other night, and I met Mark Stevens, as we're good friends because he's also a living veteran, that he's going to retire.
Well, yes. I wasn't sure how prevalent that news was, but
well, maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
It's known. Yes, he is, and I'm excited for him. But I know he's still going to be very involved in the community.
Good.
Yes.
That's good. As a businesswoman and as a city council person, how can you help businesses? What do you do to help business? Location-wise, maybe if there's funding, or what type of information would you give to businesses that come to city council?
Well, what happens is oftentimes we have companies that will come to our city from out of state to see what type of benefits there may be, what type of funding there may be available. That isn't something that City Council would do. We have a redevelopment area, economic development group that would do that with the city of Henderson. But where we would get involved as a City Council person is if there is a business owner that has a business that they want to get permits for, and let's say perhaps it's not in compliance with certain coding, such as, for example, let's say that they have a smoke shop, and there's a certain amount of feet that it must be from, let's say, a school. We have to ensure that is happening, and help that business person understand that. But as a city, they can come to us, and I know the city of Henderson is very, very helpful in working with these businesses. And an example of that, this is a large business, but Haas Automation, which is a big business, but there's many businesses that have come on Water Street as a result of certain benefits that the city can offer that business owner to help them get started.
So does the city council have any say or any authority in the fees for a business license and the commerce tax and things of that nature?
Business license, yes, and that is something that would come before us, and that it would have to be voted on. There's obviously discussion ahead of time, but we would have a say in that and would vote on that, yes. But the idea is to make, to continue to have Henderson be a very business-friendly community, and by imposing a lot of taxes, I don't think, or fees, is not the way to attract businesses. So I would be opposed to us raising fees.
I agree. If I came to you to open a business from the time I spoke with you, what is the time frame that my business would be open? And let's say that the structure's already there.
Well, actually, it really depends on the business. But for example, my business, a real estate company, we decide the location, we get our business license, which is a very simple, a simple transaction with the city, and then you can open up. But if it's something a little more complex, then there may be certain things that you need to go through in order to make that happen. But overall, somebody coming and wanting to do business in Henderson, it's a pretty simple, quick process.
I've heard that in Vegas that we require too many certifications for certain types of business. Is that true? I will be honest, I'm not aware of that in the city of Henderson. Obviously I have to have a certain license as a real estate broker, and but that's not mandated by the city of Henderson, that's mandated by the state. Oh, okay.
Yes. So depending on what type of business you are, there could be a certification required, and you have to show proof of that, but that truly is a state mandate.
Oh, okay.
So we would not have any authority over that.
So could you tell our viewers what are the responsibilities that a city council person takes on?
Sure. So let's say, for example, there is a development that, let's say it might be a builder that wants to start a particular development or apartment complex. It has to go through the planning commission. And if everything is in order and there are no questions and there are no issues with what they're attempting to do, then it will be passed. However, if there are some issues, let's say with code, or they had a neighborhood meeting and some of the neighbors were opposing it, then it would have to come to city council, and then we would have discussion about it, and there would be a vote on that.
Oh, okay. Is there anything in the city council to, I don't want to use the word favor, but to assist minority communities?
So what I would say on that is, as far as any type of funding or program, I am not aware of that. Now, I believe that there are some programs that are more statewide that are available, but within the city of Henderson, I am not aware of that. But quite frankly, the city has many, many, many offerings, and there could be something that I'm not aware of. But I do know this, is that the city of Henderson is very open and wants to embrace everyone. So we want all ethnicities, and we want to be a diverse community. So we certainly encourage that.
Off the top of my head, do you have any idea of the population of the Asian community in Henderson?
I don't. I do know that our population is 325,000 in Henderson.
Oh, wow.
But and this is strictly a guess, and I could be very, 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 very wrong.
That's okay, we won't hold you to it.
But I'm going to say, it could be as high as maybe 15%.
Wow.
I do know that the church that I belong to, we have a very, very large Filipino community, and probably 30 to 40% of our parishioners are Filipinos.
Yeah, the same in my parish in Las Vegas. The majority of parishioners are Filipino also.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you like to give to our viewers looking to open a business or talk something about the voting process and why it's important for all of us to really vet our candidates and find out that they know what they're doing to get the job done?
Okay, so first question was about opening a business. So as a business owner, I've owned a business in Henderson for 21 years. And I have to say that Henderson is very business friendly. I'm also on the executive board for the Henderson Chamber of Commerce. I've also been endorsed by the Henderson Chamber of Commerce as a candidate because of my business background. And I would encourage anybody that is looking at opening a business to explore Henderson. We have low taxes, very business friendly, and the city definitely will work with you. And that's what I love about the city of Henderson. Now, as far as voting, yes, you want to get to know your candidates. If you have the opportunity to meet them in person, do that. If you have the opportunity to hear them speak, do that. You can tell a lot about a candidate just by when they open their mouth and what they say. Somebody could look very good on paper, or they could look good on a video, but you really need to find out not just what's in their head, but what's in their heart. And I think that's just so important. And I feel that there are a lot of candidates out there, you hear a lot of promises, and but one of the things that I know that I can promise, because I've been doing this all of my career, and I feel it's a strong skill set that I have, is listening, because people want to know that they have a voice and that they're not just going to be told what's going to happen. They want to feel that they can say, this is my community, this is what I'd like to have happen, these are my concerns, can you help me? I've been out talking to a lot of the residents of Henderson, and one of the big gripes that I get is that they feel that they have no voice. And a lot of the concerns out there are really not huge concerns, but they're concerns. And they feel that they have been talking to a deaf ear. So I am committing to everybody that I will be available. I've had many people call me on my phone, send me emails, and I respond to everyone. And if I missed you, my apologies, because my intent is to respond to everyone, and I've been getting a lot of questions. So just do your homework, and if you're unsure, ask people that you trust that are following the process and that understand what's happening in the world of politics. But so many people write off the candidates locally. They feel it's not important. They focus on the big, on the governor and the lieutenant governor, or maybe just the president. But what happens at a local level is so important, because that's who's going to decide your taxes. That's going to be who decides the public safety, the police officers, and what's happening on a local level. So it's so critical, and that's what keeps our home values up, by having strong people that can represent you in the community.
I agree with you 100%, and that has been our focus, is to let our viewers know that what we call the down ticket is extremely important, no matter who becomes governor, whether it's a Republican, Independent, or Democrat. If we have the right people in place on the down ticket, our life here in Las Vegas and Henderson can be very good.
Yes, absolutely.
So Trish, I want to thank you so much for taking time to sit with us this afternoon and share your views. And one last question. Could you say something specifically to the Asian community?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things I do know from my real estate business is that we have a very strong Asian community that comes in and purchases homes. In fact, in walking in here, I saw a whole of Asian family looking to purchase homes here. So we attract the Asian community, and one of the things that I want to ensure as a city council person is that the Asian community feels welcomed in Henderson and feels embraced and feels that they can be a integral part of our community. Because oftentimes, we've had a lot of issues during COVID where there was, a lot of individuals that were very anti-Asian, and it breaks my heart because the Asian community has done so much in the United States and in the city of Las Vegas and Henderson, and it's a travesty that that's happened. So I just want them all to know that I support you, that we as a community support you, and we want you to continue to feel loved and feel welcomed in our community, and just know that anything that I can do when I do get onto city council, even now, I'm happy to help and answer any questions. And I just thank you for choosing to live here in Nevada, and I certainly hope that you feel welcomed and that you know that you are cared about.
Trish, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you,
Very
Vince.
good to see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.